The routine starts. A screen glows in a quiet room, tasks are executed, and the screen goes dark. For much of the modern workforce, earning a living happens entirely in a physical vacuum, completely disconnected from the people paying for those hours. This chart tracks internal company culture using employee reviews. Look at late 2025. There is a sharp 25% spike right here in the use of specific words about senior leadership: disconnect, miscommunication, and distrust. Both workers and firms are noticing a distinct chill in their daily interactions. There is a growing feeling work has grown more transactional, centered more on what can be extracted and less on what can be built together. These spikes in distrust and miscommunication signal a breakdown in the unseen rules that once governed the relationship between an employer and a worker. Decades ago, the typical corporate environment relied on physical density. Climbing the ladder meant spending 5 days a week surrounded by peers. That physical proximity fostered a specific type of corporate culture that hit its peak in the 1970s: lifetime employment with a single firm. Organizational psychologists call the foundation of that era the psychological contract. These are the unwritten rules, expectations, and implied mutual obligations between an employee and an employer. While your official contract stated your salary, the psychological contract was a handshake deal. Work hard and you will always have a job with us. The environment was rigid, but it offered deep, reliable stability. Today, that unwritten pact has dissolved. Mass layoffs and frequent job hopping, along with shifting corporate priorities, have erased the old guarantees. Both sides are now trying to navigate a cultural vacuum where neither trusts the other. The mass shift to remote work during the 2020 pandemic accelerated this change. Almost overnight, the shared physical spaces that sustained corporate culture were abandoned. Without physical proximity, you lose the spontaneous chats by the coffee machine and the subtle nonverbal cues in a meeting room. Those informal daily interactions are exactly what build camaraderie and organizational trust. A study of over 60,000 Microsoft employees tracked how internal collaboration networks functioned before remote work. Once everyone moved home, cross-department ties dissolved. The network became static, locking teams into disconnected clusters and limiting new connections. The technology used to bridge this gap often adds to the friction. Academic research on workplace dynamics details how smartphones replace traditional human cues with digital ones, making communication feel more impersonal and ambiguous. Stripped of physical presence and natural human cues, the employment relationship defaults to its most basic form: an explicitly transactional trade of labor hours for cash. A transactional workplace is not inherently a problem. For many firms, putting policies and performance goals strictly in writing removes guesswork. It creates operational transparency, strengthens accountability, and gives organizations the agility to restructure quickly. But pushing that efficiency to the extreme creates a sterile environment. When employees feel they are treated as interchangeable units of production, they stop giving more than their job formally requires. The result is soaring turnover and severe workplace isolation. This chart groups employees by their isolation profiles. Look at the data for commitment and psychological strain. Employees reporting high workplace isolation show noticeably higher psychological strain and significantly lower commitment to their organizations, whether they work from home full-time or only occasionally. This isolation quietly drains a company's capacity for progress. Innovation requires cross-functional coordination. If workers are focused only on their isolated deliverables, team cohesion fractures and knowledge sharing stops. A workplace built purely on transactions might optimize for short-term deliverables, but it does so at the expense of long-term human sustainability and innovation. Employers now face a paradox. Surveys consistently show that modern workers want the same core things earlier generations did: fair compensation, genuine career opportunity, and leaders who treat them as human beings. Simultaneously, those same workers demand the autonomy and flexibility of remote work. They want the freedom of global mobility, even though that physical distance erodes the traditional community and mentorship they also desire. We cannot go back to the single company model of the 1970s. We also know that mandatory return to office mandates rarely succeed in resurrecting a healthy culture. if they feel like a transactional demand rather than a mutual agreement. The solution is to intentionally build a new psychological contract, one designed specifically for a distributed workforce. Firms must take the unwritten pact and make it visible. That means setting transparent criteria for promotions, so remote workers have a credible sense of how advancement actually happens, and providing proactive virtual career development. Leaders must actively bridge the digital divide. They have to manage with a degree of candor that proves they see their employees as people with social needs, rather than line items on a payroll. In a remote-first world, loyalty is no longer a default byproduct of physical proximity. It is a vital competitive advantage that must be intentionally engineered, transparently communicated, and actively earned.